Welcome back to SportsCy. Today is going to be a very interesting episode. Right now I'm kind of dealing with like a little bit of an injury. It's non-athletic related. It's just something along my shoulder. It's just kind of been getting in the way of my workouts lately. But luckily today is going to be a sit-down video talking about how squats affect your testosterone and why it's important for athletes. All right, let's go. Get some coffee. Testosterone it's the most responsible thing in your body for muscle growth. It's an anabolic hormone. Anabolic is something that starts from a small molecule and builds into a larger molecule. So a lot of times testosterone is looked at as the original anabolic steroids, an androgen that promotes protein synthesis in the muscles. Now, what that means basically is that you need testosterone in order to build muscle. It's essential. When it shows up there, it makes a lot of the other hormones anabolic. Now, what are the benefits for an athlete? It helps you build muscle. You can recover faster. You strengthen your heart. So there's other things like because it also allows you to maintain muscle mass and strength, and also adds to bone density. It helps with your bone density. And the other thing also is I'll actually post a very interesting research study that they did, and it's about competitiveness. What they did is they looked at men. They tested their testosterone levels before a game. And they looked at their testosterone levels after the game, because what they wanted to see was if the men that had lost, what their response was in terms of like going back into the game, like playing another one. So when they looked at the people whose testosterone levels had dropped significantly, they actually asked them if they wanted to go back in, and they did not want to go back in. But the ones who did not lose the testosterone levels or lost very little, they wanted to go back in. So that's one of the aspects that makes testosterone very important. And if you're an athlete, why would you not want to be competitive? I mean, that's everything. I mean, there was the reason why Kobe was so great for so many years is that I honestly believe that the amount of testosterone that guy had was just out of this world.
To everyone who said I wasn't old enough, to everyone out there who ever booed, I've got one thing to say.
A 1-point game. Walton could tip it. Bryant with the save.
Oh, you got to get a shot here.
Final seconds. Bryant for the win. Bang! He banks in the three. And the Lakers win the game. And that is just greatness.
Now, it doesn't mean you have to be an angry freak and go out there and be like the Hulk, but it is important to have that competitiveness. Now, I started squatting, and one of the things I started learning when I started squatting is that there's a difference between compound lifts and isolation lifts. So a lot of times, if you've ever been to the gym, the most common thing if you're a bodybuilder is isolation. So isolation workouts include things like bicep curls, like the preacher bicep curl, because you're mainly isolating one muscle, and that's where you're working on your biceps. The only joint that's having to run across is just really your elbow joint. It's not really too much else. Now, compound lifts, as the name suggests, is multiple muscle groups. So an example would be a bench press. An example would be the squats or deadlifts, is because you're using multiple muscle groups. Now, how this coincides with testosterone is that if you're doing compound lifts, because you're recruiting from so many different muscles, it's been shown to actually have more of a hormonal response. So if you're lifting something super, super, super heavy and you're having to use multiple muscle groups, like what your body responds to it is that it increases the testosterone, because as we mentioned before, that's what's going to allow you to recover, that's what's going to allow you to build the muscle, and that's also what's going to allow you to maintain the mass and strength. So if you're trying to build testosterone, you want to work on strength, and so that's why compound lifts are absolutely ideal. Now, where squats are actually even better than some other lifts that you're commonly used to is if you look at leg press. In high school, I used to probably do like 360 something pounds, and I weighed 150 pounds. So I was little compared to how much weight I was lifting. And I used to do that all the time. And I'm telling you, I never got I never got that much faster in sports, soccer or basketball. But the second I tried to do squats, and I didn't even have to do that much. I think I put, it might have been 25 on each side. So with the bar that's 95 pounds. 95 pounds for somebody that was like 150 pounds. And that entire week I was just zooming. That's when I started understanding the difference between something like a leg press and a squat. A leg press is more along the bodybuilding isolation world, which is totally fine to isolate muscles. But if you really want to make sure that you increase your testosterone, you gotta go for the compound list to build strength. And if you're doing that, your testosterone levels are naturally gonna go up. And the other cool thing too is that it's much easier to make progressive overload, which means adding more weight so that you can challenge your body and keep getting it from hitting a plateau every time to where you just go to a higher new level. It's much easier to progressively overload when you got compound lifts. One, you save time. Two, you're able to actually, you don't have to do crazy increases in weight to actually see results. Because, and this is one thing that I would say, is that it's good and all to go in the gym and, you know, to challenge yourself, and I do want people to do more squats, but also you gotta make sure that you're resting properly. You gotta make sure your nutrition is on point. If you're not getting the right amount of sleep, hey man, lack of sleep is easily one of the biggest testosterone killers. So you got to make sure that you're getting at least your 6 to 8 hours of sleep every night, because that's what's also going to help you with recovery. So along with testosterone, you want to make sure that you're taking care of your nutrition, you're taking care of your rest, and obviously you'll avoid injury, and you'll benefit the most from the testosterone that your body is building from the way that you're working out. So that does it today here on SportsCy. I'll catch y'all next time. And if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe, man. There's going to be a lot of exciting things. We're going to start talking more about some sports athletes and how that relates to fitness. And I'm going to have more tips for you on how you can improve and become a better athlete as well. All right, I'll check y'all next time. Check me out.